Come on in. Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name is Katie O'Neill, and man, oh man, am I excited about today. Happy Monday, everyone. Tuning in to you here from sunny Frederick, Colorado, right on I-25, just north of Denver. Really close drive to the airport as well. I'm here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. You can always reach me at 303-562-8659, and you can find us at TTTRV, and you can find me at hashtag RVs Inside Out on YouTube all the time. Today's video is live and you are in double trouble. This is so much fun. This is going to be a comparison of my two favorite Newmars, the King Aire and the Essex. So let's go ahead and start like we usually do from the inside out. Jody, take her on back. Okay, so today is super fun. We're looking at the Aledo interior. So it's a great opportunity to show you Aledo versus Voluto. They're both of our gray interiors. And also, this is a ginger glazed cherry hardwood matte finish. So we'll be looking at a suede finish in the King Aire as well. So lots of similarities and lots of differences. One of the cool things about this floor plan is this is the 4551. Now both the Essex, the King Aire, and the London Aire, I should say not both, all three are available in the 4551. It's our #1 selling floor plan in this segment. One of the reasons is, take a look at this shower. So as you can see, this is a really cool shower. I actually have that same tile in the house that I'm building right now. I wish I had that sexy linear drain. And I love the big waterfall shower head, the two very large shelves for putting things on, the adjustable wand holder, as well as the beautiful tile inlay the whole way around. This decorative diamond looking tile is so swank. Of course, our shampoo, conditioner, and body wash holders make everything better, as do our dual towel racks on the outside. How handy is this? Not to be stated though, we have also a robe hook. Now, on that note, the teak bench you'll find in both units. And one of the benefits of that teak bench is it's a great place for you if you want to sit down and just wash your feet, maybe shave your legs, or just sit underneath your nice rain head. Now take a look. Because both of these units have the cathedral ceiling, we're going to have plenty of room in here even if you're tall. This is a feature you're going to find from Dutch Star on up, and it's standard in both the Essex and the King Aire. Another feature you're going to find standard in all of these models is going to be the Shower Miser water saving system, also known as AquaView. The benefit of this is that both of these units have 105 gallons of fresh water and an 80-gallon gray water tank. All of that being said, you want to keep as much fresh water as possible, but more importantly, you need gray water room, especially if you've got long hair like I do. Maybe you like to just take a little bit longer shower. So what you'll do is you'll turn your shower on, and then it will actually recycle that water back into your freshwater tank until you're ready to get into the shower, at which point you'll just switch over this little knob like this from recycle to fill, and it will be after this turns from blue to red, letting you know the water's warm. And then at that point you'll get in so that you can start taking a shower, but you haven't wasted that gray water space until then. When you make that switch over, it'll start filling that tank. So very cool feature that you're gonna find on a lot of our RVs, but definitely both on the King Aire and the Essex. Now you'll note when I open this door, very cool LED light comes in. Oh, sorry, a little bang there. Cedar wood cabinets throughout the back, big shelving area, nice safe. And I'll open this other side too. So we're going to be looking at a 4533 and a 4551 just to kind of show you the differences in floor plans. You'll notice that we have shoe closets, double hanging racks in both. But in the King Aire, you're going to find that in this little bar up here, you'll actually integrate your light into this LED strip, or LED light into this hanging bar. So just something to keep in mind. Now, I think that's important to talk about the fact that we have power blinds throughout the coach, heated floors as well. This is a special floor, so this is one of the specials. Another one of the specials is that we've taken the line that lines this floor and we've actually made it gray. So Jody, if you just want to show that slate gray liner, and that's going to be for our Mora floor. So this is on a hydraulic slide. So this was ordered to have a darker strip for that slide. It doesn't really have any function other than to hide the seam, but it's nice that it matches the coach a little bit better. Now you'll also notice that the wood on this coach is very different than what you're going to find in the King Aire. This is going to be much more of a traditional interior. So if you're not into the more modern and you don't want that more you know, sleek look and you want something that's got more traditional with a really nice beveled cabinet, this is a great option. You've got beautiful dual vanity here, really very attractive backsplash. These metal brick set tiles are really beautiful. You'll also notice that we have this rounded detail on our solid maple cabinet. And all of these drawers, both on the Essex and the King Aire, are finished by one coach at a time. And the reason that they do that, here's your outlets here. You've got 4 110 outlets. The reason that they do that is so that you have the same stain consistency throughout the coach. And you'll also notice that we have this dovetail finishing on all of our cabinets throughout the Essex and the King Aire. This is going to be one zone, so this is the bathroom zone for the heated floors. And then we're also going to have, oh, I should show the medicine cabinets. Really nice medicine cabinets. We'll always have 110 outlets in those cabinets for both the King Aire and the Essex as well. So I'll just try to hit on some of the similarities. Another similarity will be this mirror. So you'll have this inlaid LED light in the mirror, as well as the vanity lights, giving you lots of nice bright light. And then here you'll have your access to your washer and dryer. And in both coaches, we will also have a washer and dryer. They will be different though. So in the Essex, you're going to find that we have a nice whirlpool. One of the benefits of this whirlpool, in my opinion, is that you have so many nice settings here. And you'll also have a little drawer down below to keep your Tide Pods and maybe your dryer sheets, all those types of things. And these can be operated while you're driving. So very nice feature. You can do all of your laundry before you get to your next camp location. Now when we get into the bedroom here, you'll see one of the first differences. Go ahead, Jody, and take a look at this ceiling. So this design featured ceiling is really beautiful. This is designed to cover all of our returns and air conditioning vents. So it's a really nice way to be decorative and also functional at the same time. This just pops down, there's filters underneath, and you can actually change those yourself or just have it done at service. But it's a really cool way to keep everything kind of out of sight. Now you'll see that we'll have on all of our models a chair rail. In the Essex, you've got this beautiful finish that you'll see is mimicked not only here, but even on your refrigerator or on your dishwasher with the mirror above. It's a nice dark smoky mirror. On both of these units, you're going to find that you have a charger on top, and then you also have storage underneath on your nightstands as well. And this is going to be your light here. So this is one of the differences between the Essex and the King Aire, where you'll have a sconce on the King Aire like you do in the New Aire. Here it's inlaid and set behind this beautiful column. In all of the RVs, there is going to be the option for the overhead storage. It is not a standard finish or feature on the King Aire. It's optional. And then you're also going to have a control panel right here. You'll have grommets here. And then inside here, you've got your 2 110 outlets. And that's a great place to be able to run, if you've got an iPad or a laptop that you just want to have the cord hanging down so that you don't have to, you know, plug it in at your nightstand. You can use that just for your phones. That's a really great way to do that. And this is going to have the sleep number beds. You'll notice that we have our control for our Bose soundbar. We've got our control for our sleep number. And then we've got our control for our Samsung television. Our Samsung TVs are always going to be smart TVs. So you can go ahead and watch Hulu, Netflix, whatever you'd like. And then you've also got your soundbar in your bedroom as well. Here you'll see we have lots of nice full extension doors. And these drawers, of course, are all solid maple as well. And then out here, in fact, let me just go ahead. I'm going to go up here to this center control panel. So both of these coaches will come with an app, so you don't have to do things this way, but you're welcome to if you'd like. We're going to go ahead and go to our shades. And we'll go ahead and go to, here we go, let's just go into bedroom up. So we'll go ahead and put our day shades up. You can do this on your app, and you can also just do it here from this control panel or any of those other control panels like the one under the bed. But I wanted to show this. So we're going to have the Carefree awning package available on both the Essex and the King Aire. The execution of the awning package is different. So we'll take a look at those differences as well. So are the windows. So you'll see that we've got screens here. We've got an emergency exit window here. These are our normal windows. So these are set in the typical fashion. They're still very large, but they are set. We don't have any floating windows in any of the Newmar products. All of them are actually set in our C-channel framing. So we've got an aluminum framing that has holes in it, so you can run cords and wires through. And we also set the windows in those frames. But in the King Aire, they'll be bonded, where in the Essex they are not. So the King Aire will have a little more window space. You'll see that as we go through, but you will not find that we've got cross ventilation on either side of the bed. So you're going to have more of a dependency on your air conditioning in the King Aire. Now, all of that being said, you're going to have great underbed storage in both of these models. And you'll notice here that we are able to use all of the storage here. We also have a really nice place here where if we wanted to run a CPAP machine, we could actually run that down below, which is great on either side. Those are supposed to be at heart level or below, not above. So that's a great location for them on both. But the reason that there is no chairs underneath here is because we've got this great booth that I'm really excited to show you. But I did want to show you the courtesy lights underneath. All of these great features in this Essex are standard. So courtesy lights, all of your accent lights, your overhead sectional lights, and you can really get this coach just to glow at night. It doesn't have to be bright or garish because everything is on a dimmer switch. And this will be the same in both, so I can actually dim this and make it go down or slide it up, and I can set it to where I like it. And I also love our introduction for 2022. We have an all lights off switch, which I push on accident quite frequently. Ask my crew. I did it 3 times getting ready for videos this morning. And we had to turn all the lights back on. All right, so both of these are going to be a 1.5 bath model. And you'll see we have the central vac down here with the kick plate. Beautiful inlaid tile backsplash, undermount sink as well. Again, the glowy lights in the mirror. Big medicine cabinet with a plug inside of it so that you can keep your flat iron or your hair dryer in here. We'll have all of the brains of the operation for the King Aire are going to be in a different place than they are here in the Essex. Here they're in the center bathroom. You can see just nicely labeled, very organized. These are all going to run on the SaniCon system, so and they're also going to have the ManaBlock water system, so you have zone control over your water. So if you had, for instance, a leaky faucet in the bathroom and you wanted to turn that off, you could go ahead and turn that off and keep using your coach and not worry about one of your guests coming in and flooding one of your bays. So love that about this. And then here is your under sink storage here. Nice little place to keep your toilet paper and some of that toilet treatment. Another one here, great place to keep some towels, maybe some linens for the kitchen as well. And then a nice little drawer here if you're the person who gets to use the center bath, maybe you're up earlier in the morning. And then also underneath here, you'll see we have a push to release plug, and you'll find these throughout both the King Aire and the Essex. So really nice way to keep your plug if you want to have access to something and you're not keeping it in that container. Now, these doors pivot like this, so that you have access to the coach while you're going down the road, even when the slides are in. So you just pull that out, and that's going to be the same really throughout our product line. It's a great design. People say, oh, I'm afraid they're too narrow. They're not. There's plenty of room to go in and out. They're not narrow. They're just really smart because it allows you to have a full-size entry without having to shrink the size of your bathroom. In both coaches, you're going to find we've got ample pantry space. Now, one of the things that's cool about the Essex is when you put this into drive, this bar will go over the top and lock these drawers in place. And they are full extension, dovetail finish once again. There are 6 of these drawers, so plenty of pantry space. Really easy to get all the way to the back. And as you can see, again, that more traditional wood finish. And I actually just want to show, if you can see the inside of this paneling, I mean, this just speaks to the quality of the materials used and the craftsmanship that we employ by the Amish in Napanee, Indiana, where both of these coaches are made. Again, as I mentioned earlier, really beautiful refrigerator. This is going to be the same refrigerator you'll find throughout a majority of our product line. If you were to buy, like I have a Superstar, it has this refrigerator. The Dutch Star has this refrigerator. This is going to be one of the differences between the King Aire and the Essex is the appliances. And there's about a 33%, or the price is about a third higher from a Essex to a King Aire. So if you're looking for a really high-end experience and you're not doing a lot of boondocking, this is absolutely the coach for you. In 2022, the Essex comes with, this one has 4 solar panels on top, 8 AGM batteries for 800 amp hours of battery power. And if you're going to be plugged into a park, you've got 50 amp service, of course, but even if you're not, you've got 3 air conditioners, all 15,000 BTUs with heat pumps. You've got hydronic heat. This is an all-electric coach with no propane. And you also have a 12.5 kilowatt generator on both of these coaches. So, you know, these are the big Onan quiet diesel generators. They're going to run the air conditioners perfectly fine. The 3 zones of air conditioning are going to be great for you if you're down in a more humid climate like Florida or Texas. I sent a ton of coaches out to the East Coast. So, you know, don't be afraid to buy from us, even if you're maybe in Pennsylvania, or maybe that's where I sent the last Essex actually. Maybe you're in San Diego. It doesn't matter. I think I delivered 5 out of our 6 King Aires last year, and only one of them lives locally, and the other one kind of straddles between Kansas and Colorado. All the rest of them went out to either coast. So, you know, please note that we are more than happy to help facilitate a purchase out of our state. So I'll just show you really quickly our freezer storage down below, plenty of room. And then now I want to get to the exciting part. So it's really fun to be able to see, this is a bed of, or a booth of old. So this is the booth that you would traditionally find if you find a really nice high-end 2013 or 14 King Aire. This is the booth that you'll see. On that note, we've got a 2019 King Aire coming in. If you're in the market for that coach, I've got a gorgeous one that's just going to hit the market in probably about a week or so. So this is a really nice traditional booth. So this comes in and out, so you can have as much room as you want, but everyone can sit around the table and watch TV, have a glass of wine, play cards. So this is a really cool booth that you don't see a lot. So we're going to take a look at the Euro booth in the King Aire, but I thought this was a great opportunity to show the grays, to show what you can do with the different wood colors and how you can have a different effect for each model. And by the way, these are both available units. So on that note, if you have a pen handy and you want to pause the video, this is stock number 5N211494. Again, 5N211494. Both of these coaches are going to have the K3 Spartan chassis. They're both going to have 20,000 pound towing capacity, a 605 horsepower engine, 1,950 foot-pounds of torque. And then as you'll see here, one of the nice features about this Essex is how much window space you have. So in the King Aire with the bonded windows, you get a little bit more window space, but I mean, it's really important to show off. So we're going to go ahead and push this little button here and put all these up. How much window space you have in this coach. So tons and tons of windows in this RV. Beautiful execution here, and as you can see, we've eliminated the overhead cabinets here, so it's going to be important to have a little extra storage, and you'll still have that here in this booth. So you've got storage on both sides underneath the dinette as well. So very cool, and like I said, lots and lots of window space. And as I mentioned earlier, again, you do have the opening screens here. If anyone's ever asked what this little dollop is between, these are dual pane windows, and that's just keeping the glass separated. So it's a little spacer because these windows are so large that they actually need to have a little spacer. And then you're going to have theater seats in both. There are USB ports. Jody, if you want to show that one. There's USB ports in both. And then what we're going to do now is my favorite thing about both of these coaches. We're going to go ahead and go to systems. And instead of doing the TV or the televator up, we're going to go ahead and do theater mode. So I love theater mode. So as you can see, it's dimming all of my lights. It's dropping all of my night shades. So I'm going into my blackout shades. These are MCD power shades. Again, there's a handheld app for this coach. You also have My Rosie on both of these coaches, so you could set your climate control and get your coach all ready to go remotely as long as you were plugged into Wi-Fi. This coach has the SK300 on it, so it's plug and play if you do have a satellite system. But again, this 50-inch TV is a 4K TV, so if you're going to do more of your videos by Hulu or by Netflix, please reach out to me and let me help you through the questions about Cradlepoint versus Starlink, because I get that a lot, and it's really important information because Cradlepoint's awesome and Starlink's awesome. As you can see here, I can go ahead and set my lights to be whatever color I want. I'm pink, Jason's blue, so we'll go ahead and set those there. And then I'm just going to go back here to my home button. I'm going to go ahead and go to my shades. I'm going to go ahead and hit my night shades, pull those up. And then I'll go ahead to my lighting. And again, I don't have to turn on all my lighting. I can just go nice light dim, or I could turn on my wall lights, for instance. So it's really cool how you can get, you know, kind of the feeling and the mood that you want in this coach so readily. Now, let's talk about kitchen space. So on the 4533 versus the 4551, this has got a large kitchen window facing party side. So party in the front, business in the back. So if you're watching the kids, getting ready for dinner and all of that, you're going to be looking at this side if you're in the Essex or in the 4551. You're also going to have a lot of kitchen space. So this is a little bit of a more traditional layout. I love that we have that tall cabinet there, as well as this great slide out tray. And they just have all of these really nice drawers. And then you'll see little things like this. This is the vent for the hydronic heat. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with how hydronic heat works, oh, and just so you know, this is for your trays. There's a little storage cubby here. And you can see that little carpeted areas where you would actually slide in your overhead sink covers if you wanted. But so with hydronic heat, you're running a tube of antifreeze underneath the coach through your tankless hot water heater. So of course, this is a tankless hot water heater. There's no, you know, 6-gallon capacity or anything along those lines. But all of that being said, that tube of liquid gets hot, and then it pushes air through the vents, and it warms the vents. And I also thought this would be a really nice opportunity to show you. This is an Essex without the dishwasher. So in this location, it would look very similar if it had the dishwasher, because it is also wood paneled. But we elected to have the more storage here. A lot of people tell us they just don't need a dishwasher between the two of them. And of course, this is a coach that oftentimes has just a few people in it. And then, let's see if I do it this way. There we go. Another popular feature of the 4551 is the extendable island. But as I mentioned, without having that overhead storage in this floor plan, it's actually really nice to have that drawer space underneath your cooktop. Sorry, it's electronic. You have to push the button, and then it requires a hip bump to close that gracefully. I like to make things up during these videos because they're live and you can't make fun of me. Actually, you can. In fact, if you'd like to make fun of me, please take some time to go down below and put comments on these videos. The more comments you place, the more feedback I get, the higher they go up in terms of the rankings, the more people click on them, and the more information all of you RVers get out there in the world to see. Okay, so this is our cutting board. Of course, you're going to have one on both sides. This is a big difference between the King Aire and the Essex, because your Wolf induction cooktop is not removable, and your True induction is. So this is a big difference as well. I actually love taking mine outside. We use it all the time if we're making bacon, or if we catch trout, or any kind of fish that might be kind of smelly. Like to take that outside. It's going to be a set item in the King Aire. It's also going to be a set item in the 2023 Essex. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I have one of those out there too. Here's your microwave and convection oven. We'll give an opportunity to show you another difference when we get across the way to the King Aire. And then a nice little place for all of your spices. Did we cover these, Jody? I don't think so. So again, this is the Lato interior and exterior. One of the nice things is you can see all of your paint codes are here. And in that top drawer that I opened under the stove, we did have some extra touch-up paint that just comes standard. Newmar does everything the right way. You don't really have to ask. They just do it. And it's kind of funny because our tagline is, if you know the difference. But if you do know the difference, there's really no other competition in this segment at this point any longer with acquisitions by different companies of other products. So although Newmar has been acquired by Winnebago, I've got to tell you, just in my experience with the last few years, the only thing that we've gotten is better. And I watch these coaches come offline, and I'm able to open up these doors and just feel like the quality has remained the same throughout. And for those of you that are in the market, that's a really important differentiation. And if anything, Newmar has gone from 17 buildings. I think that they're up to 25 buildings now. And in one of those buildings is our service building. And our service building is so important because our service building has 62 parking spots for people who are camping for service and 50 service bays. And you get like this whole team. They're like butterflies. They descend on your coach. They come in, they bring it into the shop, and they really take care of everything for you. So I think that that's a really, really nice feature. Oh, and Jody's pointing at me. He's like, Katie, what about the couch? What about the couch? Oh, by the way, I gotta tell you, these cushions are so nice to the touch. They have got such a good texture, such a good feel to them. And I love the fact that you can have your theater seats and you can still have your party. I think I gotta get that little, there she is, little latch up here. So you have to pull this simultaneously to make it look graceful. I don't know if that looked graceful, but try to make it look graceful. And then your two seat belts are back here underneath. And then this is just a really nice little trifold. But this is perfect for 2 adults. And the cool thing is it doesn't look like a transformer couch. And what's nice about that is no one needs to know that they can stay after dinner. But if they shouldn't drive home, you've got a place for them to go. So double Benny there. And then while I have these cushions removed, Jody, if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and show. We've got 2 110 outlets over here on the right, and then we've got 2 110s on the left, along with USB ports, and then we've also got another outlet to the left of that with another 2 110 outlets and USB ports. So with the USB ports near the driver, near the passenger, and on the couch, and then integrated into the controls for the theater seats. There's no reason for anyone ever to tell you that they can't answer their phone. So if they don't answer in their Essex and they say it's because their phone is dead, they just didn't want to talk to you. Just kidding. I can just see that happening now. They're like, oh, Katie said. Okay, so take a look over here. We have the oh shit honey, you lost the Jeep camera, as well as a wireless charging dock. And we have the step cover. We've got this really nice entrance. We have these huge screens with lots of different abilities to see different sides of the coach. You've got your overhead 360 camera. Let's just go ahead and do that real quick, because why not? So you can see I've got all my doors open. You can see all the different views, and you can see this in your bedroom too. So you've got a nice security system that you can actually see everyone that's around you. Lots of big drawer space here to keep your wallet and your phone. All of your visor settings and shade settings are up here. Very traditional layout. You've got a wireless charging dock up here as well. You've got your integrated brake controller for your Kurt Spectrum. So this is a 20,000 pound towing capacity, but more importantly, it tows well because it's integrated into the coach and the coach knows what it's doing. Let's go ahead and start her up real quick. So both of these coaches are going to be push button start, so keyless. You're going to have a difference. This is going to have the Mobileye and the lane tracking package, where the King Aire is actually going to have guidance for you. And then you're going to see, so here's your lane tracking package. This is whether or not you're leaving those lines. Comfort Drive steering is going to be on both of these coaches. These are both going to be running, again, that ISX or 605 horsepower, 1,950 foot-pounds of torque engine, and you're going to have things like integrated, let's go up here to air leveling. So I love air leveling. So not only do you have air leveling for while you're driving, giving you a better feel going down the road, which is a really big difference between London Aire and Essex. I'm sorry, that's not true. Used to be, now it's not. Air leveling is going to be on London Aire, Essex, and King Aire. But one of the nicest things about this is that you've got air leveling where you don't necessarily need to pull or use your jacks unless you're going to be changing it at a very significant pitch. So if you're in fairly level surface, you can air level your coach. Love that. Okay, so here we are, TPMS, and that's what I wanted to show you. So I love the fact that your TPMS sensors are here on the dash. You can actually keep this up and still see what your speed is on that bottom right-hand corner. Really, really nice feature there. And you can also even add those TPMS sensors to your tow vehicle. So if you don't lose the Jeep and it's just got a flat tire, you might not see it, but on this system you could actually see that on your dash. So we've got memory programmable seats here. So you've got set 1, 2, and 3. I'll take 3. I only want to have it for 4 or 5 weeks out of the year. No strings attached. I promise I'll take great care of it, and I'll always flush those tanks. Well, maybe I won't, my boyfriend will. Okay, HWH, computerized leveling system. So this is a really big feature for us. This is what allows us to have that all tile floor, or what's called more floor. And we're going to have the Allison 4000 MH transmission in both of these coaches. So that's going to be something that's the same. And then we're also going to have, I mean, one hell of a horn. So we love that. Now I do want to go ahead and bring the slides in. I'm not going to bring the slides in for the bedroom. It's just not that important right now, but I do want to just show you the walking room for these coaches, and I also just want to show you how they operate. And we'll do this on both of these coaches today. Now keep in mind, if you're watching this live, you're always welcome to come back and find us at TTTRV. There's a lot of information on this particular unit below as well if you want to click through to the links. But you can watch it later. You can come back and fast forward. I know I talk a lot, there's a lot to cover. Jody's going to show you how there's no clock on the wall above the dinette area. That is something that is unique to the Essex. You'll have a clock there on the London Aire, for instance. We do like that little Newmar clock. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn this bad boy off. So as you can see here, here's your walking room, and I think that this is really important. This has got plenty of room to get through. You could sit down and you could easily prepare a meal. You could do some dishes. You can get to the bathroom. So really easy access for those of you. I know some of these are really tight. Definitely a little bit of a sideways shuffle here. Nothing like you would find in like a Super C, but you've got so much more living space when that first 9 feet of your cab is an engine. So this is a really doable situation. Look at my cameraman. God, he is so good. He's like, I'm going to move over here into this nook and cranny so that you can show the step cover. Okay, I'll show the step cover. So there's your great step cover. And I love, love, love this white Corian. It's so pretty and it's all the way up. And again, this is the ginger glazed maple matte finish. It is super decadent and absolutely beautiful. I also wanted to show you this because our desks are going to be a little bit different. Both of these coaches are going to have massage seats as well as heat. And then this is how your table works with this. In one of the differences, so this is a synthetic material. It feels and has a touch very much like leather, but it is a synthetic. And on the King Aire, it's actually going to be 100% leather, and the desk will integrate into the armrest itself. Both chairs rotate completely and have footrests that extend. And both of our coaches are going to have a keyless entry pad here, as well as a lighted handbar so that you can see where your door handle is. We're also going to have these HWH full extension stairs. And what's nice about these is these articulate. So there's a sensor here on the front and underneath. If there's a curb or something, they'll still open. They just won't open quite as low. But for those of you that may have any kind of hip issue or just a hard time getting up, this is a really low threshold to have to step into, which is nice. So you'll see that cover comes up. So you'll see in our mirrors, we've got these nice chrome convex mirrors. That is something that you get as when you get into the higher levels with Newmar, but the camera here is integrated for the right hand and left hand turn signals into the mirror itself. So that's really nice. And then another thing that's really important to talk about, so these Michelin tires are made for this coach. So Newmar goes through, they have a partnership with Michelin, and they figure out what is going to work for this coach the best. And you also have these really beautiful aluminum wheels. So between this very large wheel and this aluminum set, this 365 is going to give you the least amount of vibration and the quietest drive going down the road. You do have a dual fill tank on both the King Aire and the Essex. In the Essex, you're going to have a 150 gallon fuel capacity. In the King Aire, you're going to have a 200 gallon fuel capacity. So that's one of the differences. We went ahead and added in this 2022 this nice shelf above the Dometic. So that's a great feature. I love the fact that you have a full extension here. So if you're taking this out and you have the slide out, you can actually pull it all the way out so you can get past the slide. So this is a really nice feature you're going to find on both of the units. And of course, as you're loading things, if you have a bunch of things, like maybe you've got popsicles for this side and ice cream bars, and then for this one you've got hamburger patties and hot dogs, you got to be able to put them down somewhere. So this shelf is really useful. Now you'll notice when I have these shelves, we have these beautiful chrome baggage door handles, and this does not have the chrome kick plate down at the bottom. The paint goes all the way to the bottom. I actually prefer this look. So for those of you who would like to chime in and help us with our ordering process, let us know. Do you prefer the chrome finish that you see here on the outside of this baggage door? So do you like that little bit of a splash guard? It's going to be something that's going to help you with rock chips, or do you prefer the look of this full paint finish that you have here on this door? So I'd love to hear your feedback on that. We do have the optional Power Easy Glide trays here. I'm not going to open these all the way. They do go out 60%, so they go out past the slide once again. I'm just going to do this one. There you can see our we've got our porcelain tile. Again, that was a special tile floor that you had inside of this coach. But these are optional on the Essex, where they'll be standard on the King Aire. I actually don't mind the manuals just because they're a little bit faster. And if you want to ask me whether or not you could have manual trays installed, the answer is I don't know. I'd have to ask Ken. And Ken, if you're watching this video, today is your day. Ken Williamson is our fantastic Newmar rep. Everyone at Newmar is like a family, so it's really nice to give a shout out to the guy who always answers his phone, even on weekends for us. Again, another 1,000-pound Easy Glide storage tray. If you see underneath here, you can see how much storage you have. And what's really important to talk about here is our star foundation. So I'm going to come over here where Jody can kind of see me. But so here you can see, here's our star foundation. So this star foundation is really important. It's actually what takes the weight of these slides and redirects them to the center of the coach, giving you a much more ability, a much better ability to keep your, sorry about that, a much better ability to keep your weight centered to the coach, so you don't have that tipping feeling. And so these coaches driving down the road between Comfort Drive and then the Star Foundation are going to give you the least amount of tile popping, because these Star Foundation is actually built first, and then the floors on both of these coaches are assembled on a big warming tray called Big Bertha, and they put all the tile on first, and then they bring it up to temperature. And when they bring it up to temperature, it actually cures all of the grout. They seal the tile, and then they move that entire floor over to the top of your Star Foundation. And that bigger subfloor, so there's about a 3.5 inch subfloor that actually gives you a great amount of it gives you insulation from heat coming from the asphalt going down the freeway, or from the cold coming in when you're parked and camping in somewhere, you know, lower temperature at night. So really cool stuff there. Here on the left-hand side, you'll see our controls. You'll see our controls for our awnings, as well as some 110 outlets. Everything is really easily accessed. And then on the right-hand side here, you'll see access to our road vac, which is going to be the central vac, and then all of the little controls that you have down here. For those of you that are concerned about these slides, you have a manual crank right there as well. Hopefully we never need to use it. And on that note, that gives me an opportunity to talk about something that's really important about Transwest. Here at Transwest, we have a guy named Bill Habercorn. So Wade Phoenix does a fantastic job. When you come in, before you do your paperwork, before we ask you to buy anything, we give you a 3-hour orientation window. So 2 USB ports up there on the left, Jody, and some 110s. And then after your orientation, we'll bring your coach over into our campground, plug it into 50 amp, and get the slides out, run the AC if necessary, and then, you know, get you kind of moved in. But if you have questions during that experience, not only can you call Bill Habercorn during your delivery, you can call him at any point thereafter. For those of you who've never seen my video, I'll just let you know right now, this is where all the top shelf bevies go. You've got all your mixers down below. That's why you needed to have those 110 outlets in that next door bay. But no, so Bill Habercorn will answer the phone and help you to understand whether or not you just need to reset something in your coach, or whether or not you have a real issue. And then he'll help us to direct and get in touch with Newmar, or in touch with your warranty company, or whatever it is that we need to do to get you back camping. So a really incredible support system. And that's not something that Newmar includes. That's something that Transwest includes. George and Barb Idness run a fantastic company. Quality, as we all know, comes from the top, and you couldn't ask for better ownership. So here on the outside of this coach, you'll see we have a paint match. So this is a really nice decadent feature. So you've got your cut and buff. It's a 4-layer cut and buff that they go through, but they don't just do it on the coach itself, it's also on the exterior slides. So one of the difference here, so this is going to be a passive tag axle. So you've got an innie and an outie. The innie is going to be your drive wheel, right? So that's the one that's going forward. And a Super C, like an Icon, for instance, or a Supreme Aire, these are both going to have that wheel set. But here where you see this outie in the back, again, these beautiful Alcoa rims, this outie pivots. So there's actually a little piston that comes up and it allows the wheel to pivot. So you're going to have a little bit more of a cut available on the King Aire over the Essex. But to be honest with you, it's not enough of a difference to be able to tell. It's just another one of those luxury features. You know, when you're spending, you know, 130% of what you would have spent on this coach, you have to get a little extra, and the King Aire is definitely a little extra. Both will have a 15-gallon DEF tank. Both will have that egress door. We'll take a look at how that opens in the King Aire. Spartan takes great pride in putting all of their things in an easy to reach area. So your air dryer and your fuel filter, your chassis on and off, your chassis batteries are all right here in this rear compartment. So that's a big feature, you know, something that Spartan really takes pride in. Again, this is on that K3 chassis. And as you can see here, we've got our beautiful Newmar mud flap. And right above that, we've got our air line for our braking system. And then we've got our 7-pin connector, as well as, again, our 20,000 pound towing capacity. And I want to show this to you. So this is definitely something, Okay, so by the way, those don't always pop up automatically, but they do on the Essex and the King Aire, so always duck. But as you can see here, you've got this beautiful marriage of the Cummins in red to the Spartan chassis. So you can always tell where your Cummins is. That's your ISX once again. But you can see this because your radiator on both coaches is going to be on the driver's side. So very important feature there. And today, I don't know if you noticed our beauty shot, but in both of these coaches, you have this fantastic, beautiful, just imposing view going down the road. People know that you're driving first class. So here's an overhead camera for that 360 view. Again, your radiator. You can fill your DEF tank on either side of these coaches. Again, on both coaches, it'll be 15 gallons. Got a nice little guy here. This is a great place to keep your gloves, anything that you want, so that while you're working in your sewage compartment, you can, you know, keep clean. You can even put them there until you get to a place to dump them. And then on this water bay here, you'll see we have a digital display in both units, so you can see all of your tank capacities digitally. You've got a nice paper towel dispenser, the SaniCon system mentioned once again, a whole house water filter. On the King Aire, this is going to be an infrared filter, so it's going to be a little bit more, again, fancy. It's going to cook your water literally before it hits your cabin. But you'll have the Mana Block system on both the Essex and the King Aire. This is definitely a differentiating feature between the two. Oh, and if you watch this video later, he just drove by, say hi to Brian Moritz. He's absolutely a video star. I thought he was off today and I stole his golf cart. I'm gonna be in big trouble when I get back to the office. All right, 50 amp power cord here, surge protector as well, coax cable connection. So this is the power cord retract button right there. In both of these coaches, you're going to have a really great hydronic system. Keep in mind, in the King Aire, you're going to have, instead of 35,000 BTUs, 85,000 BTUs. And again, in this coach, with your battery systems, you'll be able to run your air conditioner off of your generator or 50 amp, but you will not be able to run it. It does not have a second inverter. It's got a single inverter. In 2023, we came up with a system where you can get lithium-ion battery pack to replace these 8 AGM batteries. Please give me a call. Let's talk about this. It's something that I don't necessarily think you need to do depending on the type of camping you're doing. It's a really important understanding. These bigger lithium-ion battery systems are really expensive. I don't know if you're going to get the savings for them that you're hoping for. And if you're boondocking, having that second inverter is what allows you to run your air conditioner. So on a 2023 Essex, for instance, you can run your second air or your central air conditioner off of your second inverter. Here's another access point to your fuel tank here. Oh, I have a smudge? Okay, Jody says I have a smudge. Can I get to the mirror here? Oh, here, I'm gonna look in the chrome. Oh, look at that. You can tell I'm hard at work, folks. All that smudging on my face. All right, so squeegee, right? So this is so cool. Nice thing to clean the bugs off of your windshield. When we get over to the King Aire, I'll show you the entire, like the hot water jet. Okay, so fantastic headlights, as you can see, you know, state-of-the-art headlights here, nice integrated fog lamps, beautiful cap. Another similarity between the two coaches and something to take note of, you don't see your windshield wipers here. So you're gonna have a lot less wear and tear on those windshield wipers going down the road. And again, another one of these overhead cameras and this very, very, you know, substantial presence. What a sexy coach. Now looking down the right-hand side, you'll see where I have these awnings deployed. So these awnings are completely different in the Carefree package for the Essex versus what they have for the King Aire. So as you can see here, the King Aire has gone armless. So much like our Girard awnings, of course, we've got the two awnings on both the Essex and the King Aire that are armless, that have these elbows. When you get to the King Aire, you have elbows. Another thing that you get to the King Aire, if you take a look at these windows, these are bonded windows. So again, these are going to have what we would consider less wind noise and better insulative properties. This is set much like you would have your windshield set versus that of the Essex. Now, if you're curious and you would like to test drive these side by side, you're welcome to. We're gonna move over here now to stock number 5N211491. Again, 5N211491. And we just went over 5N211494. So we could test drive these both side by side to see whether or not you can notice that difference in noise. Now take a look here again, really sexy headlights, once again, integrated camera control, once again, chrome convex mirrors. Now you'll notice here that there's a sensor. So this is your lane tracking package. So you're gonna have 8 of these throughout the coach. So these are designed so that you can see who's next to you without looking. Another thing we have on this RV is this soft closed door. So when I close that, it sucks closed. So no more slamming, no latches. So that's a nice feature that we'll talk about. Now here, as I mentioned earlier, your infrared water filter and also your power washer. And you still get a squeegee. And there is your there's your reel. So you've got your power reel as well for your washer. And again, still the same idea with these Easy Glide store trays. As I mentioned earlier, they come out at 60% so you can have access to them after. And this material that you see at the bottom is something that we've come out with. In the 2022 King Aire, we had over 100 modifications. This is one of them. This is just a great material. But as you can see, you can access your entire tray, even with this full wall slide out. And take a look at the size of this slide. I mean, this is the entire wall. Again, this is being powered by HWH, our hydraulic leveling system. We have been in a partnership with HWH for over 30 years. Now again, I'm just gonna go ahead and lightly close this, and it's gonna go ahead and suck shut. I gotta get in the hole. Again. I can feel my mic just wants to jump out. It's so funny, you guys. Just so you know, if you guys all lost like sound for a few minutes, it's because my mic fell out. It dropped, it hit the ground, and then the batteries fell out. And sometimes that means that we have to start over our entire video, and if we had to do that today, I would cry. So if you see me reaching back or trying to adjust things, it's because I can't lose my mic. And for those of you who didn't catch that, this is a live video right now. So Jody, I know it's hot, it's sunny, but you are killing it right now on the camera. Thank you so much. Okay, a little more complicated in here, as you can see, but still that same 50-foot long power cord with the power retraction. You've got your surge protector as well. And then we're gonna go into our next bay. And we'll take a look here. So we talked about the fact that you would still have that mana block system. It's just a little more fancy. Everything is just a little bit nicer on a King Aire. It's just how it happens. So really, really similar systems, just a little more state-of-the-art. But over here in this compartment to the right is where we get into our two lithium-ion battery banks. So this lithium-ion battery bank replaces what used to be 16 batteries. And man, oh man, does it make a difference. So this bank is so state-of-the-art. What this does is it allows you to actually run not only one, but two air conditioners on your batteries without having your coach plugged in. Here's another one of those side sensors. Again, 17% wheel cut in the back here. Thank you very much to Spartan for constructing that for us. Still a great place to keep your gloves, or if you wanted to keep a gravity hose for some reason. I can't think of a reason you need to, but you could. And then this paint job, please hold. Let me change sheets. I really have most of this stuff memorized, but like I think it's the Colonial. In fact, I know it's the Colonial paint scheme, but yeah, Colonial graphics. These are the traditional graphics. You can actually also get a less traditional coach, and you can change your graphics up on these King Aires pretty substantially. There's a lot of paint choices for the King Aire. You'll have 4 paint choices for the Essex. They're all traditional graphics. You'll have modern graphics and traditional available in the King Aire, so you have 8. And keep in mind, for a very nominal fee, you can also really customize and completely change the look of your coach and have it made to whatever colors might match your race car, match your stacker, I don't know, match your daughter's bedroom, whatever makes you happy. Okay, so we talked about 15-gallon DEF tank. There's your DEF loading center for the driver's side. There's one on the passenger side. Again, we've got our egress door. As you can see, everything is flipped on this coach. Bathrooms on this side, egress door or toilets on this side, and the back be a little bit backwards, or maybe that one's backwards and this one's the right way. I don't know. However you want to see it. If it's both, that would really make my day. Please give me a call if you'd like to buy both of these. Okay, go around. So again, King Aire. Let's go ahead and just step back and take a look at this beautiful, again, imposing drive down the road. If you are in this coach, everyone knows what you've got here. You can also see we've got our Voyager camera system is pre-wired for your stacker. You've got, again, your airline and your 7-pin connector, as well as your K3 chassis, 605 horsepower. Same very tidy bay back here. One of the things that's interesting about this chassis is if you have a heavy load on this coach, you can actually run a valve and actually displace the weight from the rear of the coach to the front so that your heavier item can be towed more supplely down the road. I mean, the innovations that they've made, I gotta remember not to slam these doors shut. They're just so gently, just close them. Oh shoot, I did it again. Gosh darn it, I'm gonna get better at that. I am. Okay, so again, 2 3,000 watt Xantrex inverters. And we'll drop that down. Nice integrated television here. Same sound bar, the 2 USB ports, the 110 outlets. And on the 4551 versus the 4533, keep in mind you could have either one of those floor plans that you would like on a King Aire. We have, I think, one other King Aire available in the 2022, and then we'll move into 23, and there have definitely been a lot of price increases for both products. So if you can catch a 2022 King Aire Essex, the savings is abundant. So same refrigerator. Downside here, no tray. Upside, no slide. So that's kind of cool. And then if you look over here, again, we talked about the difference between the hydronic systems. This is an 85,000 BTU hydronic heating system. So if you like your water hot, it's happening. If you feel like the underside of this coach has as much storage, it does. If you feel like it's a little bit more tight in the bays where there are things occupying the space, there are. The reason that is there's just a lot more going on in a King Aire. All of that being said, you still have all of this great pass-through room. And then they've given you this front bay here. So just a ton of storage. And then I'd love to have you, Jody, if you wouldn't mind, just show the slide mechanism from underneath here. Really amazing to show how Newmar brings all these slides in and out, this heavy slide in and out from underneath. Just really bulletproof. Very impressive coach. Lots of security lights. Again, you've got your bonded window. This window here opens. Keep in mind on the Essex, this window would open, and on the King Aire, it does not. You'll have a door cover for either of these. Of course, you'll have your Girard awnings, and then this is your Carefree awning package, which I think is really important. I did want to show the difference between the screen doors. So you saw the more traditional screen door in the other coach, and then in the King Aire, you have the slide. So that's a nice feature. On your way up, you'll notice your leather wrapped dash. And then you also have your your crown embroidered into both the driver and passenger seats. This is an extra wide seat, plenty of room for Fifi, as well as your wife or your husband, depending on who's driving. I like to drive personally. And then on this coach, let's go ahead and just do our shades again. So power shades throughout. And then this is the difference here. So much like that of the Essex, we do not have the optional overhead cabinets here. But take a look at the size of these windows, and you'll see what this does. This actually allows us to have glass all the way to the corners. And that's what we get out of these bonded windows. Our outlets are still there. They're just integrated. You've got your two 110s and your USBs here as well. And then you'll notice that we still have the same romantic backlighting available, but look at our ceiling. So our feature ceiling is designed to be featureless. They don't want you to know that it's even there. So they have it designed so that you can't see anything except for the mirroring and then this beautiful pattern overhead. And if you look closely at the ceiling, it's ostrich. No kidding, it's ostrich. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the same as usual. We'll start from the inside out. We're gonna go ahead and take her on back to our rear bathroom. We'll talk about some of the differences here. If you turned off halfway through the Essex video and you're coming back for the King Aire, you're in for a treat. Again, this is the suede finish, so both matte finishes on both coaches. This is the veludo interior, and there's your LED light up top that, again, we talked about how you would have an integrated light in your hanging bar, so there it is. You also still have your shoe cubbies, but a lot of the brains of the operations for your audio systems and for your television systems are going to be located in the closet on this coach as opposed to up by the TV. So they moved everything in the back for central access. And just for a cleaner look, you'll still get your dual bar and you'll still have your safe. So really nice, still got that beautiful cedar smell. We talked about opening this up just so we could see how this works. So you could still access everything from the outside here. So you could pass through any linens that you want. You're going to have your porcelain toilet, and you'll notice that in the King Aire, all of the King Aires will have the same marble flooring, and it is heated, but it's not a Corian. This is actually marble. And then you'll notice that we have this really beautiful Italian-inspired wood finish, and so this is one of the differences really between the King Aire and the Essex, is this is going to be a much more contemporary and modern feeling coach, much less traditional. Again, we still have that beautiful integrated mirror. We still have that really killer backsplash, but take a look at this pounded metal undermount sink with swivel faucets. I mean, everything is just a little more fancy. Again, still same dovetailed finishing. And this coach has 6 drawers in the bathroom, as well as some really nice under cabinet storage. Great place for linens. And then as promised, we're going to talk about 110 outlet here, but you'll notice that this panel that's removable gives you access to your washer and dryer, where in the Essex you lost the medicine cabinet. In the King Aire they give you both. Towel hook on both, of course. And then as promised, here's the difference here. In the Essex we had the Whirlpool. Here we have the Bosch washer and dryer. Still have our same fantastic drawer underneath. Again, always soft close. And then we still have our same spectacular towel bars Look at that overhead rain shower. Isn't that just gorgeous? And that wand. And of course, shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. Teak bench. But as you can see, they give you a full shelf to keep your toiletries on, as opposed to just two little niches. And this really beautiful tile inlay with the linear drain is going to be on both coaches. But as you can see, this is definitely a little more to do. And it comes in both silver and gold. In the Voluto interior, you're going to have a really beautiful silver wallpaper. You see that while you're looking over here at your cathedral ceiling. And again, right here is a great opportunity to see the ostrich leather on the ceiling itself. So when they said go ahead and make it the best you possibly can, they weren't kidding. I mean, some of us have a pair of ostrich leather boots. Not many of us have an ostrich leather clad coach. But if you have a King Aire, you do. Again, we talked about the difference between the inset lighting on the Essex here around the bedstand versus these beautiful wall lights. And another major difference is you have this full window over the bed, and as you can see, it gives you a ton of beautiful light coming into this bedroom. You still have all of your storage in this coach as optional overhead storage. Same thing with your 110 outlets and the grommets coming down below, but please take note that these are optional in this coach. Another optional feature that you have in this RV is you have the optional fireplace, which you'll see here displayed. And then, you know, you also have shelves here instead of hanging space, so you're going to be a little more relegated to that rear wardrobe. But as you saw earlier, it's quite substantial, and there's plenty of room in there. Full extension drawers once again. This coach comes standard with this darker slate cover here, but as I mentioned earlier, the Essex, they really did mimic that here. Another nice feature that you'll see is different between the Essex and the King Aire. In the King Aire, you've got a farm style door track. And then Jody, if you want to come on over, both of these coaches have sleep number beds, but under this bed you'll see that we have more of our traditional garb. We've got our table extensions, and we've also got our extra chairs. Still that great space on either side to be able to plug in a CPAP machine.
You have a question?
Oh, I'm ready. Go ahead. You've got a question?
Robert wants to know if the dryer is 240 volt.
No, it's a 110 in the Bosch.
Yeah. Okay.
So 110. And then, I'm sorry. Robert wanted to know if it was a 240 volt washer and dryer. It's actually a 110 for the Bosch. And then here we have our charging stations here, as well as, again, plenty of room for any of your water bottles, sultry novels. And then, as mentioned earlier, our chair rail is similar, but as you can see, a much more contemporary look versus the Essex with a more traditional look. I love this metal finish that comes in. Again, this Italian-inspired wood finish. This rift oak finish is really, really decadent, and you can get a high gloss. We do a lot of the mink oak and high gloss, or you can get the suede, but really in this gray. The suede's quite beautiful. And as I mentioned, so a lot of your brains are here in the center bath. And it's a little different than when you have it in the Essex, because now you have a full countertop over here on the right. A little more room for your cabinetry. I don't know if I can get you past this, Jody. I'm going to go ahead and sit down. A little bit larger medicine cabinet. Like I said, and then again, pounded metal sink undermount. Again, always, this coach is just a little more extra. And on these Dometic flushes, one of the things I really like about this is not the senseless one. We had for a while gone to the motion sensing one, and then your toilet was just like flushing out of the blue. Maybe your cat jumped in front of it, maybe a fly did, who knows. And you know, 3 o'clock in the morning, your toilet's flushing, so that doesn't happen anymore. But they do have this little orange, or this little white square down here that illuminates orange when your tanks are full. And I appreciate that because, well, you would want to make sure you knew your tanks were full when you sat down, not after you stood up. So, very good information there. Now we do have motion sensors throughout this coach. So this coach you can actually set so as you walk through it, the lights turn on and off as they sense motion, which is a really, really nice feature. And then as mentioned, we have the same pivoting pocket door on both. We have central back on both. And for those of you who thought that you heard me say central back instead of central vac, you were correct. You know, same locking mechanism. So when you're in motion again, put the coach into drive. Here this goes. And then here's your treat. We've got this beautiful Viking refrigerator. Little storage tray here for your popsicles. Another one of those to get too buried. Yeah, so, or maybe it's for your Jello shots. You can put your Jello shots there, Jody. That's what I think. King Aire is designed for Jello shots. It's a great idea. Morgan Knoll, if you're listening, this coach is for you. All right, so check that out. Lots of storage here. Now wait for it. As mentioned, a little more fancy everywhere you go. Here's that Viking cooktop, or I'm sorry, Viking cooktop, Viking microwave and convection oven. And then I said earlier that these were different. Oh man, these are different. So when we took out the 16 batteries and we added the 2 lithium-ion battery banks, not only did we gain a substantial amount of power, the ability to run a second inverter, but we also gained 700 pounds, and we spent all of that on actual granite. So these are granite covers. We love that. Of course, you've got your hot water dispenser as well as your regular dispenser. This is still a pour and spray feature, but as mentioned earlier, you have a lovely Wolf induction cooktop. So Viking and Wolf products throughout the entire coach. And we still have our cutting board on the back, which is nice. And you could leave that out. There's storage for these down below, but you might use that storage for these when you have access to your farm style stainless steel undermount sink. How fancy are we? And then, as mentioned earlier, you'll see these are definitely more prevalent in the King Aire throughout the coach. So you'll have more pop-ups and less of your standard outlets. Again, all marble backsplash, porcelain tile floor, more floor once again, beautiful lighting. Did we cover all these drawers yet, Jody? So I don't know if anyone's ever had their name engraved inside of their drawers. I know that that's a thing, but here in the King Aire we do that. And these are just beautiful, soft closed, and solid wood. Look at all of those remotes. Same remote for your Sleep Number bed, for your Bose soundbar up front, for your outdoor TV, for the bedroom TV. And then you have some other lights. Or look at that remote for your exterior TV. These are all labeled, but they are definitely a little bit smaller to the handle for your Samsung, which is nice. I don't have the power on or the generator running, so I can't open your dishwasher, but this is a dishwasher. I don't know if it's worth starting the gen to do that. How about this? If you want to see the dishwasher running, come by for a world-class presentation of the King Aire in all of its glory. And again, this is the Voluto interior, so I thought this was a nice opportunity to show off, you know, some of the similarities and differences. So very similar theater seating, but you'll notice just a little more of a decorative edge. And again, this is a full leather seat. And then you have a massage seat as well as heated seat in your theater seats here. And then your USB ports are inside along with two 110 outlets. And then we still have our same glowy lights. And we're going to do it again because I love it. Let's go ahead. It's a better way to show the television in one of these videos than just that same old boring up and down, especially Jody, show them this window. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. So we'll head ahead and hit theater mode. One of my very, very favorite features of this coach is theater mode. So I love this feature. How magnificent is that? So as you can see, just a few more elegant touches throughout the RV, but very, very nice, just much more contemporary, much more modern feel. And then in terms of your couch, if it's worth it to you, I'll tell you, I love connected cushions. This is always one of the things I talk about. I'm going to go ahead and throw that over here in the booth dinette. Again, this is the Euro booth dinette. And there is no release for this one, so you can look a little more demure without having to find the handle. You still have the same effect. Nice trifold sofa with 2 seat belts. Pop this bad boy down. As you'll see, you can see a little bit of a difference here with this mattress. This is a memory foam mattress. I guess that means if you let them stay, they'll just be a little more comfortable. Maybe this is a bad idea. You don't want them comfortable, right? You'll never get them out. I'll tell you, if you buy this coach and you'd like to take me camping, I'll go with you. I promise. So, fantastic. This one, let's pop it down. Bring it forward. Easy to stow. Man, I make that look simple. Man. And again, My Rosie app is available on both the King Aire and the Essex, so you can get this primed if you have it stowed inside and it's got Wi-Fi, or outside, I guess. A lot of people who keep their King Aires outside, but you could. So I'll turn all my accent lights on with the touch of a button, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull all my shades right there. And you can just see it's really easy to operate this coach. So I put the day shade down here just so you can see how that looks. Once again, really nice. But you have all of these windows because of your frameless window surround. You have all of these windows where you actually can get all the way to the corner. So as you can imagine, if you're parked on a beautiful vista, you'll have complete viewing pleasure throughout all the angles of the coach. And this is something that previously was only available in the Prevost. Please do note, there's your slide tray covers right there. There's 3 of them because you've got 3 kitchen sink covers. And then your stainless steel waste basin. And you have a caddy. If you get an Essex, you don't get a caddy. If you get a King Aire, you get a caddy. That's for Jason, so he can go clean everything. I'm not going to do it. No, what do you do to clean your RV? For those of you who haven't thought about it, we have a fantastic housekeeper, Maria, if you're watching, hello. But we will have her go through after we get done with the summer and have her actually detail the entire coach, which is a super nice idea. And then as you can see, lots of storage here under this booth. As mentioned earlier, you saw them underneath. You've got those table extensions. You can really have one heck of a party. Plenty of room for lots of people. I love the stationary buffet in this Euro booth. Just a nice place to keep your French press. Maybe a little vase. I always have flowers out. I don't know. I think that's important. And please take note, there are features that are optional in this coach. You could have more cabinets on either side, higher or lower. So again, if you would like to chime in and just let us know what you'd like to see, if you like more storage, if you like the bigger windows. We'd love the feedback. A lot of times these days we're ordering these coaches to spec, but if we have one that comes available that hasn't been spoken for and we need to spec it out, your feedback would be really greatly appreciated. So let's go ahead as promised and bring these slides in so you can see the walking room. And then while we're up here, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the difference with the dash as well. So both of these coaches are going to be running once again off of the HWH hydraulic leveling system. So again, what allows you to have this moor floor. It's also what gives you that step that goes all the way down. And again, I'll leave that back bedroom open just for the sake of time. This is a pretty long video as it stands. I did an icon video in 45 minutes last week, and that was a dead heat. I knew this was going to be a little bit longer, but I think it's important to show you. This King Aire certainly has a little bit more in terms of walking space to the restroom. So if you do have a bad knee or a bum hip, or even better, a really large dog, this coach might be for you. Okay, so let's go ahead. There he goes again into his pocket. We talked about our very fantastic vibrating chairs. They don't just vibrate when you push the button to give you a massage. They vibrate when you go out of the lines, telling you that you need to pay attention or maybe wake up if you're kind of dozing off. Again, I know we've saw it before, but we'll take a look at it again. Camera control, where you have your overhead camera. Again, this coach has a security system, so when someone rings the doorbell, you can actually look and see who's at the front door and know who's here. Kurt Spectrum brake controller integrated right here on your dash. Once again, memory seats. They still have a key for me. Adjustable pedals, which is important because I'm vertically challenged. I did drive both of these over here today, and I have to tell you, what Comfort Drive steering does for you is the ability to basically change the steering with your finger, and then it just goes back to straight. This isn't just beneficial going down the road. So having a coach that automatically tracks straight in high wind situations, reducing driver fatigue is super important. But the other thing this does is if you get lined up for your parking space and you're backing in, this will, like, you literally can let this wheel sit at straight and it will back you in straight. And that's not by accident, that's by design. So Comfort Drive is useful not just going down the road, but also getting into camp spots.
You have another question?
Oh, we have another question.
Can you get the King Aire in the exterior color of the Essex, and would that be extra? Is that what you asked about? Extra cost?
If you decide,
Custom order.
yeah, it would be a custom order. There is a similar color palette to the Essex available in the King Aire already, and I would be happy if you reach out to me. You can just send me a text at 303-562-8659, and I would be happy to send you a picture of all of the colors that are available in the 2023 King Aire. But it's really a nominal fee, and honestly, I know I've got 4 superstars that are going to hit before the end of the year, and only one of them is a traditional graphics. Almost all of them are custom order. I actually have one that's going to be monochromatic. I have another one, you know, that we liked the colors of a different coach, so we took a London Aire color palette and put it onto a Super C instead. So you can really customize these colors, and it's very little money in the grand scheme of things to get exactly what you want on your dream coach. And there's nothing better than walking in, you know, to the campground and having someone go, "Oh my God, I love your coach," and you know it's the only one out there. I mean, it's just one of those things. Once again, when you know the difference, you know, you just go, "Wow, that's such a special gift that Newmar provides to us." So yes, you could get this color combination from the Essex on the King Aire. In fact, if you like, you can even mix and match floors. You can mix and match fabrics. So there's a lot of other things that you can do as well. So if you give me a call, I do mostly custom orders, and I would be happy to help. Okay, so again, little smaller dash configuration, as you can see, but very much similar to the other. You have all of your tire pressure monitoring systems. You've got your air leveling. You've got your dash brightness, your trip computers. You can go through your settings. In 2023, they changed it so there's actually a control panel behind here. I actually don't mind it here at all, but you can change your Comfort Drive up and down very easily. So just a great dash system. Only difference being, once again, you're going to have a lane tracking package that is it's integrating some sensors, 8 sensors to be exact, on either side of the coach, letting you know if there's somebody there in your blind spot. So it's a great feature there. Your wireless charging dock here is designed to show you what's on your phone. Looks like it's a good day to shop at Saks Fifth Avenue. I couldn't agree more. Same 4,000 mAh Allison transmission, same 1,950 foot-pounds of torque. You know, fog lamps, heated exterior mirrors, all of your same controls for cruise control. Here's your heavy tow feature. We talked about how you could turn heavy tow on. If you've got a heavy trailer behind you, you can turn that on. You've got your window control here for your power window. And then you've got that same system here where you're going to have your ability to operate your Nav and Go navigation system, but still have your rear view camera up and running, which is really important to me. Of course, this Nav and Go is our newer system. It's what we implemented after 2022. Your Gen Start is going to be here on both coaches, or you can do exterior, or you could use your control panel. And then when we go up here to our Silverleaf system and take a look at what we have on top, it's really important to kind of cover some of these things. And this is going to be your floor heat, so you've got your 3-zone floor control, you've got your camera controls, or you can go through all of your cameras. You have one of these in the bedroom too, so if somebody's knocking at your door, you can look and see who it is. I also really like in the King Aire that you can actually go here to coach mode, and you can set it for indoor, it's outdoor, unplugged. There we go, and activate. And what that does is it disables the inverters, it enables the chargers, it also turns on your autogen, and it turns on your Oasis burner. So all of this stuff automatically, and if you go to active camping, you can push that button and it'll get you all set up for active camping. And again, it'll just change all of your settings for you. So here, you've got that same Oasis is enabled, your autogen is set, and then indoor plugged in. You've got your chargers going, your autogen's turned off, your Oasis is turned off, so just really cool there. Again, you can go ahead and start your coach here on the dash, in your bedroom, wherever it might need to be. Climate control, of course, is fantastic on both. It's going to have all zones, living room, kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom. So 3-zone climate control. Girard awning control. You're going to have your, turn on our Razor antenna. This is a nice antenna because it will just go through and find all of the strongest signals for you, even if you don't have an SK300 like this one does. And then all of your awning controls are going to be on your Silverleaf system that you find on those little panels throughout the coach, or you could use your Samsung tablet to control those as well. A little storage up here. And again, Bill Habercorn is always available, but another reason you buy a Newmar is because Newmar provides customer brand specialists. This is Craig Garl. Honestly, he's the nicest guy. If you call Craig and you have a question and it's not his area of expertise, he doesn't tell you to pick up the phone and call someone else. He takes ownership. He'll call you back, help you get in the right direction. He's just a fantastic person to work with. Mr. Mitchell's a fantastic person for our Essex level. But all of these guys are here, and this 800 number goes to an after-hours phone, so if it's a real emergency, you can get a hold of them, and then you can always send them to either Essex service at Newmar Corp or King Aire service at Newmar Corp, along with your 6-digit coach number. They'll be able to pull up all of your information and really help to get you back on the road. As mentioned earlier, your desk is a little system here. The Williamsburg, you just put the little iPad holder in the hole. They do offer other desks, so if you want one more of that you saw on the Essex, you could also get something that's more desk-like. The one that comes with this coach is an iPad holder. There's still an oh shit, you lost the camera system. And then something I didn't mention in the Essex that's really important about both of these coaches, and really anything from Ventana up that has those chrome power door locks, you've got a lock and unlock feature. So that's so nice that you're not going around with a key manually locking and unlocking your coach as you go through. Both are going to have step covers. Again, the King Aire has a 200-gallon fuel capacity as opposed to the 150. They both are operated by HWH hydraulic systems. They're both magnificent. One of them is right for you. However I can help, please feel free to reach out to me, 303-562-8659. Again, 303-562-8659. As you can see, I didn't really use my notes much. I'm pretty familiar with the product. I'd love to get you on the road and camping. Let me know how I can help you get out there.